Welcome to Safi Yoga. This is a restorative session designed around the Yama of Brahmacharya or non-excess. See the description box below for more information on this Yama. I hope you enjoy. We'll start lying in active rest position. So soles of the feet against the mat, knees bent, hips and upper body against the mat, head heavy against the mat. Just allowing yourself to settle into the present moment. Softening where you find any tension in the body. And then taking deep, slow, nourishing breaths in and out through the nose. Expanding with your inhales, softening with your exhales, releasing any spots that you might be holding on to tension in the body. In this class, we find balance and sanctity in both movement and stillness. Allow yourself to stay present, rooted, grounded, connected to the body and breath. Noticing the way you feel when you focus on what is happening here and now in this and every posture throughout your practice today. When thoughts and other distractions try to take you away from the experience of your body and breath, choose to come back and focus on the sensations. Imagine the breath filling the body. Notice how it feels to take up space in your body. Allowing yourself to settle into the peace of the present moment. Softening the jaw, shoulders, belly, and toes as you breathe deep and slow in and out through the nose. Bring the big toes and heels together, and while keeping the soles of the feet against the mat, open the knees as if going into bound angle pose. So opening the knees out to the sides and lowering them down towards the mat, and then back together, lowering and lifting as slowly as you can, with the soles of the feet against the mat and the big toes and heels touching. On your next exhale, lowering the knees out to the sides, bringing the soles of the feet together and settling into bound angle pose. Releasing bound angle pose, bringing the knees together and the soles of the feet against the mat, and then slowly bringing the knees into the chest. You can take hold of the shins with your arms and gently rock from side to side, massaging the low back. And then beginning to rock forward and back, massaging the spine before making your way up to sit. Taking a few deep, slow breaths in and out through the nose before setting your intention for the rest of your practice today. You can use a phrase such as everything is sacred, or a word such as peace or balance. Anything that brings you closer towards a sense of pleasure and further away from addiction and excess. Coming back to the intention that you set at any point throughout your practice today. Go ahead and make your way onto hands and knees, setting up for cat-cow. Wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. On your next inhale, opening up into cow pose, guiding the chest forward, squeezing the shoulder blades in, lifting the hips up. And as you exhale, rounding the spine into cat pose. And you can flow in and out of cow and cat at your own pace. When you get into cat pose, focusing on the center of your chest. When you get into cow pose, focusing on that space above the eyebrows in the center of the head. Keeping the breath slow and steady as you alternate between cat pose and cow pose. Feel free to find some movement in between both postures. When you inhale into cow pose, you can find some movement to create more space along the front body. And when you exhale into cat pose, doing the same, lifting either side of the back of the chest and torso, creating space around the shoulders, shaking the hips, maybe moving the shoulders, finding movement in the neck and head. Just moving in a way that feels safe and right to you and your body. Slowly and gently making your way back to a tabletop position. And then go ahead and extend your right arm forward and out to the left side of your mat. And the right heel reaching all the way back. And then over to the left side of your mat. Creating length and space on the right side body. Rooting down into the left side body. Walking the right hand back and right leg back. Bringing the right knee down. Walking the right hand back into tabletop position. And then taking it on the other side. Left hand reaching out over to the right side of your mat. Tuck the left toes. Reach the left heel back. And then walk the left leg over to the right side of your mat. Creating length and space along the left side body as you root down into the right side body. Walking the left hand back and left leg back, with the left knee coming to meet the right and the left hand coming back into tabletop position. Setting up for frog pose here, go ahead and use the long side of your mat to protect the knees, separating them as wide as you can away from the hips, and then keeping the ankles below the knees, settling into your version of frog pose here. You can support the upper body and stay upright if you choose, or you can extend the arms and reach the belly down towards the mat and floor. Whichever one feels right to you. Taking deep, slow breaths, connecting to the sensations in your hips. Slowly releasing your version of frog pose, making your way up, gently bringing your knees together, and then coming to lie on your belly as we set up for Sphinx pose. Walking the legs all the way back, tops of the feet against the mat, reaching the hips down into the mat. The elbows can be forward ahead of the shoulders for a gentler back bend, or further in below the shoulders for a deeper back bend experience. Bringing the shoulder blades in towards each other as you lift the chest forward and up, rolling the shoulders back, lengthening the neck and spine, guiding the pubic bone into the mat as you point the toes back, strengthening the back body here as you connect to your breath and experience this posture with the intention that you set for yourself for today's practice. Gently releasing Sphinx pose as you come to lie on your chest. And extend your left arm out to the side, wrist in line with the shoulder. And slowly lean your body over to lie on the left side. You can even bend the right knee and maybe left, bringing the low back towards the floor and mat. You can even bring your right hand over to meet the left hand. So stopping anywhere along that sequence at a space that feels good for you and your shoulder. Gently moving away from this shoulder release, coming once again to lie on your chest. Before taking the release on the other side, extending the right arm all the way out to your side, wrist and shoulder line up, leaning over onto your right side body. Maybe bending the left knee, bringing the left sole of the foot down onto the floor. Maybe bringing the right knee to meet. Maybe reaching the left hand over to the right. For a deep release in the front of the right shoulder. Keeping the neck and head supported but relaxed. Keeping the breath deep, slow, and steady. Gently releasing, coming to lie once again on your belly and setting up for crocodile pose. So bringing your hands, taking hold of opposite elbows out in front of you, separating your feet mat distance apart with the insides of the big toes touching the corners of the mat, lying on the right side of your face. You can move your hips from side to side as you soften the shoulders and jaw. Settling into stillness when you choose. Turning to lie on the left side of your face. your head back to center, and slowly make your way to lie on your back. Heels coming up towards the hips, knees bent. You can spread your arms wide and allow the upper body and head to be heavy into the mat. We'll take slow windshield wipers. So allowing both knees to lift up to center and then lower over to one side and then the other. Allowing the feet, ankles, knees and hips to rotate. While the upper body remains grounded, heavy and centered on the mat. Slowly and gently swaying both legs one at a time with knees bent over to one side and then the other, and eventually settling into a twist, both knees over to the left, and then slowly with control, guiding both knees one at a time up to center and over to the right, settling into a twist here with knees and hips in line, maybe knees even moving higher up towards the elbow and shoulder. Noticing the sensations in the low back. Gently releasing the twist, coming to lie in active rest, creating length in the spine, and then slowly extend one leg and then the other out in front of you. Noticing the soles of the feet, the calves, glutes, mid and upper back, and the back of the head. Noticing the ankles, the back of the knees, the lower back, and the nape of the neck. Noticing the parts of your arms that touch the mat and the parts that don't. Noticing the front body, shins, thighs, hips, belly, torso, chest, throat, and face. With every exhale, softening wherever you find tension. Every inhale fills the body with peace and a deep sense of presence. Taking this time to lie in stillness, completely aware of the present moment. Gently welcome movement into the body. You can bring your knees into your chest and rock a bit from side to side, noticing the way it feels to bring movement into the body. And when you're ready, you could make your way up to sit, bringing your hands together in prayer, or bringing the left hand at the center of the chest and the right hand on top of it. Giving thanks for these moments spent on your mat. I thank you for sharing your practice with me and for allowing me to share mine with you. From my heart to yours, I wish you peace and presence.